the days getting shorter and the nighttime temperature is slowly dropping, it won't be long and we'll be back in the throes of winter. That might have some of you eyeing up hot tenting as a solution to keep your camping season going. I can't recommend it enough. Hot tenting has been a game changer for me. However, for me, there's been a stark contrast between what I had romanticized in my mind and the reality of the real life experience. So here's my top 5 hot tenting misconceptions. Number 1. Light the stove and enjoy an even and consistent heat. When hot tenting, you'll most likely be using a lightweight titanium stove. While these stoves are awesome, one thing they don't do is hold on to the heat. The metal in these stoves is so thin that they don't even out the temperature fluctuations happening inside the stove. If you're not aggressively feeding the stove, you'll see temperature swings fluctuating by 20 degrees or more. Number 2. Forget the expensive sleeping bag. I have a wood stove. I initially thought the stove compensated for the cold outside enough that I wouldn't need sleeping gear rated for the actual outside air temp. If you left the stove running all night, that might be true, but extremely risky. Keeping the stove cranking all night takes a lot of wood, and you'll be feeding the stove constantly rather than sleeping. I never run my stove all night. I bring the gear rated for the air temperature outside, and prep the stove for an easy start up in the morning. Also, if for some reason you can't get the stove going, you'll be happy to have that nice warm gear. Number 3. I thought not having a floor in the tent would be uncomfortable. In reality, being able to leave your boots on as you come and go is nice. I can tromp around in the main part of the tent with my boots on, and I have a smaller inner tent just big enough for my sleeping system. It's actually pretty great. However, the main reason you won't find a floor in a hot tent is that it would be a fire hazard. So forget what mom told you and leave the boots on. Number 4. I thought having a snow floor would be horrible once the stove starts up and it begins to melt. I was pleased to discover that the snow doesn't turn to water, it just evaporates. This is because the wood stove is a powerful dehumidifier. The snow just kinda disappears slowly. Most people keep some water boiling on the stove to keep it from getting too dry inside the tent. So, snow floor, no problem. Number 5. When I first started hot tenting, I'd burn anything I could get my hands on. When you're getting started, that's perfectly fine. However, once you get more experience, you'll learn what burns hot and clean. Pine is my least favorite. It's hard to split, burns dirty and quickly. In contrast, ash is my favorite. Even when it's green, it only has 30% moisture. That means it burns great green and even better while seasoned. So if you have a few options at your campsite, knowing what you're looking at will benefit you greatly. Well, that's it for now. I'll see you by the fire real soon. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments below.